My pantry is a nightmare. Now, luckily I'm not panicked by this because ultimately it's not that big of a deal. I haven't cleaned it since January, so that is definitely my fault. And my baby has started eating solid food, so I know that it probably needs a little bit of work. So I want to show you the inside of my pantry and some things that I got to help me organize. Now, luckily, even though it's a disaster, I have always found the internet to be a nice judgment-free zone, so I know no one's going to say anything mean about my pantry. Anyway, here's what it looks like. The top shelf is protein and cereal and tea. The next shelf down is honestly such a complete disaster. I don't think I could even categorize it. I see vitamins, I see olive oil, baking supplies, I see spices, tuna, peanut butter. There's a lot going on there. The next shelf down is usually where we keep our snacks, which has gotten a little crazy. The shelf down after that has baby food and more cooking. And the shelf down after that is, again, just another nightmare, as is the floor with random water and other things. All right, so first things first, I'm going to clean everything out by taking it all out and wiping it down. Now, some things I can get rid of. For example, my baby is no longer eating rice cereal, so I can either donate this or toss it if it's already been open, but we'll keep the oatmeal because she is eating that. Even though it's a huge mess, I am likely going to keep most of what's in there. So my main goal for today is to find a way to creatively and neatly find more storage and spacing so that I can see everything in there and it's easy to find and organized. So let me go ahead and take everything out of the pantry. Good news, the pantry is empty. Bad news is all of this. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, I need to keep pretty much everything in my pantry. I just don't necessarily have all of the space that I need. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hang up this shoe organizer. Literally a shoe organizer, super cheap. I think it was like 10 or 12 bucks somewhere. And I'm gonna hang this up and I'm gonna put items in there, non-perishables, so that that will free up some space on my pantry shelves. The other thing I did was I ordered a small metal pantry shelf for the bottom part of my pantry so that I can put some things over there too. All right, I didn't think this through. I'm kind of trapped in my pantry by all of this stuff. So I'm gonna literally build my pantry shelf in here. I mentioned in the Post-it video that I tear into stuff like a raccoon. I can't help it. It's hard to get stuff out of boxes sometimes. Okay, hold on. We got some, the Seville Classics. It's gonna go right here. Well, I hope it fits. It's gonna fit perfectly. Why can't I get this out of the box? Done. The shelf is done. The shoe rack is hanging, so I'm going to start putting things away. I like to start by doing things like right off the bat that I know that make the most sense. For example, I know that I want to put all the baby food on the top of the new shelf, and I want to put unopened snacks underneath. I like to have unopened things close to the bottom just because, you know, Florida, lizards, bugs, weird flying cockroaches, and if you're from Florida, you know what I'm talking about. It's horrifying. Anyway, that's where I'm gonna start. I'm also going to use some of our bamboo trays and our plastic containers and even some cardboard boxes where I've cut the tops off of the lids so that I can use those for additional organization as well. I like to be able to see inside because, like, this doesn't look too fancy, but it's really functional. Like, do we have fruit snacks left, or did somebody's husband, I'm not naming names, eat all of them, and then the box is empty, but it's still in the pantry. Again, not naming names. I really like taking stuff out of packaging as much as possible because I feel like it makes things neater and you can really see what you have. In addition to cutting off the tops of cardboard, sometimes with things like this, if you just like jam it back in your pantry like this, it doesn't look as nice. So I'll just like cut off some of the extra plastic. And it helps it look a little neater when you just set it on a shelf. As I mentioned before, I love cutting the tops off of things. So for example, I have all my fizz sticks and they're in 2 different boxes. So I cut the tops off of this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just put the remainder in here. So now I've gone from 2 boxes down to 1, save some more space. Ooh. I'm also gonna go ahead and start putting aluminum foil and other things like that, non-perishables, cooking supplies and items, into the shoe rack to save some more space. These trays are my favorite. I don't know if they're still around at Bed Bath & Beyond. I registered for them like 100 years ago, but I'm sure that something exists out there like this. I just love when I get home from the grocery store, I take everything out of the packaging if I'm not being lazy, and my pantry's not a disaster like I've gotten to at this point, but it makes it a lot easier for me to see what I have and if I need to add something to the grocery list, if I'm about to run out of something. So I love these trays. I also decided that instead of having spices and miscellaneous on one shelf and baking and miscellaneous on another, I'm going to combine my spices and my baking to be all on the same shelf. I love these containers. I think I got these like at Walmart for $1 or $2. It's really nice because you can make sure that they're airtight and sealed when you have things like brown sugar, regular sugar, flour, any other baking items that sometimes can get a little bit messy or you don't want to leave them open. Okay, quick tip, these, $1, you get 100 of them at the dollar store. I stopped buying chip clips because they were like 6 for $4.99 and they would break, and then I couldn't find them, and then I was like constantly trying to like tape bags of chips and stuff shut. So I definitely recommend these. Okay, this thing is not fitting, so I'm just gonna take all of these out, get rid of this. I'm just gonna put this in the shoe rack. I love long, skinny containers like these for taco seasonings and other packets. I'm clumsy, I'm sorry, jeez. Okay, my bad habit of raccooning through boxes is really coming out right now. So anyway, I don't like having cardboard boxes, I guess for obvious reasons, all over my pantry. So I will take these and I'll just put the granola bars in one of the pouches in the shoe rack, and that saves me some space too. Baby teeter snacks, cupcake liners, birthday candles, party napkins, and cheesecloth from my mom's last visit when she made matzo ball soup. Not going in the pantry, but will definitely find a home in the shoe rack. So I have this tea caddy that I love. It holds about 20 to 24 bags of tea in here. Zach gave this to me for our first Valentine's Day ever, several years ago at this point, and I love it, but it doesn't hold all of my tea. So I've been storing the excess in this little plastic bin, but this is not working. So I'm going to take a piece of cardboard just from some random trash that I have. I'm going to tape it and I'm going to cut it up and put it in here so that there's a line across this, and then that way I can have it so all of the tea is a little bit more organized. So give me 1 second. See, you do not have to be fancy. Look, I have this Chips Ahoy Nutter Butter thing. So we're just gonna cut into this. Don't have to spend money on things to have something that's nice and functional. And I think the best way to do this is, I don't know if you can see, it's like folded here at the bottom and here at the top, kind of like a Z. How are you seeing it? Like an S? Depends on how you're looking at it. Okay, so you have it like this, and you just put it in here. I'm gonna trim it a little bit, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Here it is. Again, not the fanciest thing you've ever seen, but functional. All right, all done. Now it fits all of my tea here, my other tea bags here, my loose tea, and these for my loose tea. All finished. All right, before we go in and look, I want to show you what it looks like, the big pile of cardboard and other packaging that I took all of the snacks out of, right over here. So it's really rewarding to see that big pile and know that it's not currently cluttering and clogging up the pantry. So let's take a look. So as you go in on that top shelf, I left protein, cereal, and tea up there. Nice and easy. Down here I have vitamins, baking supplies, and spices. Next shelf down, I kept snacks there. This is a miscellaneous shelf. I don't always love the idea of a miscellaneous shelf, but to be honest, it's not so cluttered that I can't see anything, so I'm fine with it. The bottom is practically empty, which is so nice. And my new shelf over here, my mini shelf, is probably my favorite. So the top has the baby food, super easy to see. The middle shelf has unopened pasta, unopened snacks, and then the bottom is all of my canned goods. That mini shelf right there saves me a ton of space on the other shelves. And the other nice thing is that I put our travel cooler behind it, so that's something I use maybe once or twice a year, and it's not really blocking anything. Now if you come over here, here is the shoe rack. So I've got some olive oil and some sprays at the top. I still have space if I need it in that second row down. I have some press and seal, aluminum foil, and other baggies there. More miscellaneous at the bottom, and some recyclable bags in case I need those. So here you have it. This was a little bit different than the videos that I've been doing, but it definitely falls into that category of organization, and I feel a lot better because I've been wanting to make this for a while, so my pantry's just been stuck in this state of disaster for quite some time. Anyway, I hope you liked it. If you do, or you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you're thinking, and if you enjoyed it, definitely give me a little thumbs up or subscribe, and I hope to see you next time.